Hey guys, what's up? It's Devin here for the DNA podcast. So this is one of the first podcasts that we've actually launched. So I'm excited, and I'll be bringing guests along. So we'll have more interaction with other individuals who will give us great insight in terms of trending topics, news, controversial issues, religion, politics. Every single aspect we will try and cover on these podcasts as we go along. So on the first podcast, there's some big news that's been breaking in the US since last week that has not been covered by the mainstream media, and social media has come into the frame that has been censoring information and news that is very, very important and critical to the US elections as a whole. So let's dive into it. So as you know, the US elections are taking place in November. There's currently mail-in ballots that are going forth now. So the elections actually have been happening for quite some time now. So the polls at the moment is showing that Joe Biden, the former US former vice president under the Barack Obama administration, leading in the polls, many polls as a matter of fact. But the question is, look at 2016, Hillary Clinton was leading in many of those polls, so-called polls, and she lost. So can the polls be trusted? Many people say there is a silent majority. No one wants to talk about who they are supporting because people are too scared of being vilified by certain audiences. So that's what's happening so far. Donald Trump, the current US president, is fighting a battle because of the coronavirus and the high number of deaths that his country has experienced, but also the high number of infection rates. And obviously he's come out to say that they are doing more testing, and because they're doing more testing, that is why the infection rate looks at a higher level than the rest of the other countries, and the death rate is also minimal compared to what was the projections according to the CDC. So he's defending it, but as we'll see how it pans out in the elections. He's got a fight on his hands. But also remember, he ran a very successful economy, one of the fastest growing recoveries in the economy prior to COVID and lockdown. So he's got that in his favor, and already we can see there's a recovery in the economy post-COVID. So there's a lot of work on that. So this week, Thursday, there is a debate that's going to take place between US President Donald Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden. So this is going to be the last debate, I think, that's going to take place. So I'm looking forward to that. I know the last debate was a bit of a shocker. Not much that came out of Joe Biden. Donald Trump really took over that debate. I felt sorry for the moderator, but at the end of the day, you are the moderator. You should be taking control of the debate. But President Donald Trump overpowered the moderator and Joe Biden. And although I didn't find the debate appealing, but it also tells you of the candidate as a whole. Do you want a strong leader who can impose himself with other world leaders, or a weak leader? And from my fact, Joe Biden was weak, and I actually think about it, I don't think he fits the profile as a US president. You need someone strong. So that's my opinion. So let's look at this week, and there's new details of the debate because of the shambles that have taken place in the previous debate. The moderators now have access to mute the mics of the candidates when it's not their turn. So that's going to be very significant. I want to see how US President Donald Trump deals with that, because he loves to talk. So that's going to be fascinating. But the discussion today is about this bombshell story that was released in the New York Post last week, and it's quite fascinating that the mainstream media and the social media platforms have been censoring this story. The mainstream media has been relatively not talking about this Bombshell story, and it's very, very significant. So what it read, this in the New York Post, it said smoking gun emails reveals how Hunter Biden, this is the son of the current candidate and former Vice President Joe Biden, introduced Ukrainian businessmen to VP Dad, Vice President Dad. So this is quite significant. So as we go on, we'll read this article. It says Hunter Biden introduced his father, then VP President Joe Biden, to a top executive at Ukrainian embassy's firm less than a year before the elder Biden pressured government officials in Ukraine to firing a prosecutor who was investigating the company, according to emails obtained by the Post. So what it's saying here is that Joe Biden, in a certain time when he was VP, pressured the Ukrainian government to fire the prosecutor who was investigating the company called Burisma. Now, Burisma is very significant because Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, was on the board of Burisma when this investigation was taking place. So this was actually happening the last couple of years. The information was coming out, but it was certain people within the Democratic campaign and the media has been debunking it, saying this is not true. But now there's email. So as the article reads as we go along, it says, never before revealed meetings is mentioned in a message of appreciation by Vadim Prozaski, advisor to the board of Burisma, allegedly sent to Hunter Biden on April 17, 2015, about a year after Hunter joined the Burisma board at a reported salary of up to $50,000 a month. Now, this is a concern because I understand that Hunter Biden has no experience in the energy sector. So how is he getting $50,000 a month that was reported? So the email reads, this was the email that they've got, and currently it's being validated. It says, Dear Hunter, thank you for inviting me to DC and giving an opportunity to meet your father and spend some time together. It's really an honor and pleasure. The email reads. So what it's saying here, that Hunter Biden, the son of Joe Biden, gave an invitation to one of the execs on the board of Burisma, an invitation to meet his father Joe Biden as vice president during the Barack Obama administration, to sit down and meet. Now, as the article reads, earlier emails from May 2014 also shows Prozaski, reportedly Burisma's number 3 exec, asking Hunter advice on how to use your leverage on the company's behalf. So basically, they are using Hunter Biden to leverage for business opportunity. The blockbuster correspondent would flies in the face of Joe Biden's claims that he never spoke to my son about overseas business dealings. So what it's saying, there's video evidence showing Joe Biden refuting claims that he ever met with his son and his business partners about overseas business dealings. Here's these emails that are proving that he is lying. That's what it's saying. So there's an alleged proof that he's lying. It contained in a massive trove of data recovered from a laptop. So the computer was dropped off at a repair shop in Biden's home state of Delaware, April 2019, according to the store owner. So how did these emails come to light? Is that according to the store owner, Hunter Biden dropped off his laptop at this Delaware computer repair store, and he never picked it up. And because he never picked it up, the owner of the store took possession of it because he never got paid for it. And when he opened up the laptop, there was a hard drive, and I'll read the material. I'll read the article. So I'm going to read the article as we go along here. It says, other material extracted from the computer includes raunchy 12-minute video that appears to show Hunter, who admitted is struggling with addiction problems, smoking crack while engaged in a sex act with an unidentified woman, as well as numerous other sexual explicit images. Now, this is a bombshell story. This is really, really concerning, especially for the Joe Biden campaign. And what we are hearing, and there's more to come out of it, is that there's talk on these images of underage girls. Now, that flies in the face of sex trafficking and human trafficking. If this is what's taking place, this is the world needs to know, but more especially the people in the US that are electing Joe Biden needs to know what's actually happening, and if his father is aware of what was happening with his son. Right. The customer who brought in the water damaged MacBook Pro for repair was never paid. So that's what the store owner said. So that is why he released this. And what he said is that when he saw this material, he was very, very concerned, and he had to get it into the authorities that can actually help with this. And what he did, he actually handed over the hard drive or the laptop to the FBI. And that was in 2019. But according to them, nothing was done about it. Nothing was said about it. Then he actually handed it over to Rudy Giuliani, who was the former mayor of New York, who is now the current lawyer for President Donald Trump. And he obviously released it and exposed what was actually happening here. According to the Democratic Party, when this came about, they are saying this is Russia disinformation. The amazing part is that we thought that Joe Biden will refute the claims on these emails, and his campaign will refute it as false, but they have not. So that's a concern. Where it comes a bigger concern now is the censorship that's taking place on all social media platforms. So when the story broke and the New York Post sent it out on Twitter and other various sites, they were actually banned and locked out of Twitter. The other one was the president's press secretary, Kayleigh McEnany, who actually also tweeted out this article and was banned. So and they're refuting that these claims are false. But it's not false because there's actual evidence of it. So when the ban started to have people started to share this, they were getting banned off on the platform of Twitter, and Facebook was also limiting the spread of this. And their justification, the Washington Post story, that these claims have been refuted, but this is new revelation. And so that's the concern. So there was a severe backlash to the social media platforms, and eventually the CEO of Twitter, Jack Dorsey, came out and says he was wrong in terms of censoring this article. But it's now out there that the social media world is actually backing one candidate, because if you think about it, if they've banned this story, because they say that it was sensitive information, it was secret information that should not be shared. How did they share the tax returns of Donald Trump that was gained illegally by the New York Times? And there were several other articles. Why was that not banned? Because that's sensitive information. So there's a bias that's taking place in the social media outlets, and it is a concern. Then the other one is the mainstream media. CNN, MSNBC, several other news organizations have reported none or little on this. And that's the biggest concern, because this is an important story. The only news outlets that have taken and have run with this is Fox News, and I've seen Sky News Australia, and also some other smaller outlets like Breitbart News, right-leaning news, and there's some other news outlets. The Daily Signal have released and have been running with it, but the mainstream media has been silent on it and have been covering up. Tells you what's actually happening out there. There's a candidate that they prefer, and they are pushing this candidate to win the elections but are not reporting factual news. That's where the sad part with the news, and that's why podcasts like these and many others that are actually gaining traction is because people now are speaking the truth and looking at factual information. So it is a concern. So this is the Bombshell story that's going out there. There's more coming out of it. If you get a chance, guys, go on to the New York Post, look at the articles there. There's several and there's more to come. What I understand, there is more to come. Currently, the national intelligence agencies in America have said this is not Russia disinformation. So this is actually factual information. So guys, go out there, get the right news, research. My advice, if you want to get a balanced view, get left-leaning news and right-leaning news. You can understand your news much more better to have an informed decision. Don't only listen to one media outlet. There's several out there, so you will have a balanced information. So thank you guys for listening. We will have more content. We will try and push out. We have some great stuff coming through. We've got a great interview with an individual who will share with us on the dark side of the entertainment industry. So that's going to be a long podcast, but it's going to be excellent one to listen to as we journey. So stay tuned for that. We will try and post that through as we go along. So guys, have an awesome day. Thank you. Peace out.